So welcome everyone to the webinar for Getting Started Tips and Tricks for RightSignature. We've got Cord and Ricardo with us today. They're going to take great care of you and show you this product and how wonderful it can be for simplifying signatures in this digital first world. Thanks, and I will hand it over to Cord and Ricardo to take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Ricardo Everson and I've been with Citrix a little over 6 years, where I've spent time with the tech support team and currently with the adoption team as a customer success engineer.
And I'm Cord. I've been with Citrix in ShareFile for about 4 years now. I'm also a customer success engineer with adoption, and I also came up from the support organization.
We want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. We are excited that these are back up and running and hope that you get some great information throughout today's and hopefully through some future webinars. For today's agenda, we're going to take a look at 5 things here, or 6 actually. As you can see here, we'll be looking at how to send a document. We'll be going over how to sign a document. Once we have signed a document, we'll go through the 4 download components that you could do in order to get a copy of that document. We'll create a template. We're going to import an overlay on that template, and we'll also show you how to verify your email address via the RightSignature portal. All right, let's hop into the demo here.
All right. So a couple ways you can get into RightSignature. You can go to the RightSignature homepage and choose login at the top, and it will take you to the login page. Just input your email and password. Another option is if you have a ShareFile account, you can come into the account and you'll have this signatures option here. And if you click on that, it'll load your RightSignature page, and you won't even have to log in. It'll pull the authentication from your ShareFile account. So yeah, once you're in your account here, you'll see your home page. You'll have your start document button up here at the top. You'll also have a list of all the documents you're a party to. And you can always search for any of your documents by keywords in the title, or if you had a tagged documents, you can search by that tag. And then over on the left here, you'll have your account settings and your options for templates, as well as the feedback and approval feature that's shared between ShareFile and RightSignature. Okay, so what we want to do first is we're going to go ahead and do a start document. And we're just going to do a basic send for signature. There are a number of other documents in here. If you want to join us later this week, we'll have the document packager and bulk send for signature on Thursday. So if you'd like to learn more about those two, you can as well. But we're going to start here with just a regular send for signature. So we'll go ahead. You'll have the option here. You can either use a template, which we'll get into later, or you can choose from some other sources. We're just going to pull from the computer here today. We're going to do this benefit elections document I prepared. So once you select the document, it'll upload. It'll have a brief little preview here so you can make sure you're looking at the right thing. And then all you have to do is do prepare a document. So we'll come in here, search for our contact. I already have this one created. If you don't, you just put in their name and then their email address. Once those fields are in there, it'll then populate from your recent contacts in RightSignature. It'll also can pull in from a contact integration. This one's set up with the ShareFile account. You can also switch to other contact integrations such as Google Contacts, Podio, Salesforce, etc. If you need to add yourself as a signer on a document, you can do add yourself. It'll automatically drop your information in there. If you do have multiple signers on a document, you can set the signer order. So once somebody has signed, somebody else will then get prompted to sign. If you don't set that order, everybody gets notified immediately that they can sign the document. So we're going to remove, we're just going to use a one-person field today. So next we're going to go to the place fields. This will bring up your document. As you can see, we have all our blanks here. On the right here, you'll see all your fields that you can add to the document. You'll have 2 sections here. One is requests. That's what you're going to add for people to fill out after you've completed and sent the document off. You also will have the annotate option, and that's what you're going to add to the document before it's sent. So in this case, we know, for example, that we want to add a date here, so we can add the date that this was created, for example, or whether we're sending it off. So we put that on here. Then we're going to add the name of our person. So we're going to send this to Ricardo. And then we'll fill out the rest here. We're going to let Ricardo fill out. So we come in here, we're going to add a text field. And this is going to be one he fills out. So we just drop it here. I'm going to enlarge it. I want to make some changes to this. Right now, this field is set to a single line. So as he puts information in, the font's just going to get smaller. It's all going to stay on a single line. But with an address, we're going to let him choose multi-line. So that way he can hit enter and it'll look better, more like an address instead of just a line of his address getting smaller and smaller as he fills it up. We could also add default values to these if we wanted. You can also add a name to a field, so we could do address. And that way it helps for reporting to see what those fields may be named. And you can have these options on all these other fields as well. So again, I can make this name field multi-line, increase the font, align it differently, all those options. All right, so we'll go ahead, add another text field. As you can see, it keeps the same size of the last one put in, so you can change them to adjust. So I can adjust this one here to make it fit on the line better. And then we're going to do a checkbox group here. So what I can do is I place the checkbox group, and then it'll automatically add 2, because you have to have at least 2 to be in the group. But I need a third one for Plan C here. So I bring back up my options here, and I do add to group, and it'll drop another box here. So I can drag that one down to C. You can do any number of those you want. You also have the options here for your checkbox group for it to be, they can choose any number of these options or only one. So we'll leave it on only one. And then again, we'll have another checkbox group here. If, for example, I wanted this to be just a single checkbox, I could choose that over here. That's just going to be one checkbox. So if I just had removed the no and just add the yes option, you could use a checkbox there. And then once they select that, it's a required field, they would get it through the rest of it. The other option here, we're going to do a signature field. Because signatures are ultimately stored as images, they have to be scaled in 2 directions at once. So if you want to make it longer, it's also going to be taller. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're making those underlying documents. And again, you'll have a number of options here. Required field is usually something you're going to use. Again, you can name this field. Add extra information there. Clear background, that's going to allow anything that's on the page itself to come through. So if I did no clear background and my box covered up this line, you wouldn't see that line anymore. We also have date fields here. So we'll add the date here. I'm gonna make that one a little bigger. And then we'll bring up our options here. You can use traditional US date format, or you can use European format. Again, you can also align this if I wanted to make sure it was in the center. Again, name, field required, clear background. Right, and then we'll add another text field. I want to leave this one a single line. So I'll come in here, double check that setting, and then I'll stretch it out so his name takes up the whole line. All right, a couple other options here that we're not using on this field. If you wanted to add initials, so if they didn't need to do a full signature, but you wanted to make sure they acknowledge it, you can add initials. You also have a select box here. So if you wanted to come in here and put a number of different options, you could. So we could do like a couple different states. You could add all those in there. So then when you check the box, they'll have those options to choose from. Then we have an attachment. So if you want to collect an attachment for an item, so if you needed a copy of a tax form or a picture ID, something like that, you could add that. We also have the option to collect payment, which integrates with Stripe. So if you need to collect a fee, you can add that as well. So next we'll go on to review. So we have a couple options here. So if you, this name will be based on the title of the document. So if you wanted to add a specific person in addition or change the name completely, you can. You can also add CCs. So Citrix Demo, which is Ricardo, he's going to be getting sent this document to sign. But what if we wanted to add another HR person or something on here, we could do a CC, put their email in. Once the document's completed and everything, they're able to download it. They're not going to be able to sign it or anything themselves. You can also come in here, add a personalized message if you want to add any specific instructions or just say hi. The next option here will be your options for expiration. So if you wanted to only give them a week, for example, you could reduce that, or you could increase it if they need to give them more time. You can also add a passcode here. This will generate a PIN number, which you can then change, or generate new random pins. And you'll have to provide that separately to your signers. So either like you can call them or send it to a separate email, something like that. And then they would require that then to access the document. Again, you can also add tags here. So we could call this like a client ID number. And then we can put in a value. So Ricardo is going to be 001. So add it there. So now if I ever need to search for this, I can search for client number 001, and anything Ricardo had signed through here that we add that tag to, he would then do it, be able to access it. You could also add something more generic, like a template name kind of thing or something like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and send this document to Ricardo. And now he's going to walk through how to sign that document. Well, actually, before that, real quick, I just wanted to go over, if for whatever reason somebody doesn't get the email initially, or it's been a little while and you haven't heard back from them, you can send them a reminder email here on the right sidebar, and that'll send the email to them again. All right, Ricardo, go ahead and show us how to sign.
All right, I'm going to switch over really quick and share my screen. So one moment. I see that I do have the email from Cord, so I'm going to open that up and going to click on Review and Sign Document. And when I start, I can see that the text fields he put in there earlier are already there with the date and my name. I'm going to proceed to the red marked areas. Anything with a red tag, you will need to complete fully before this document can be finalized. So I'm going to start with the address here. And if you need to go down another line, just press enter and it will give you other lines to type on there. Now I'm going to move on to salary. Just put in just generic salary here. And then as I scroll down, I'll need to choose a health plan. I'm going to go with B. It's only going to allow me to choose one. And then as I move down again, I will need to choose if I want to contribute to my 401k. I'm going to go ahead and choose yes. And next I'll move to my signature and sign. Now with the signature, I can do one or two things. I can either type or draw. I'm just going to choose the type. It's currently, I think it's currently in type. So actually no, it's currently in draw. If I wanted to type, I would click on type and just type in my name and then click apply. And for print a name, go ahead and type in my name here. And lastly, fill in today's date. Once that has been done, I will see the submit signature highlighted. And I'm going to go ahead and click submit signature. Then click submit again. So once you get that email, you'll click on view document, and then it will take you to that finalized document. And at the top, you're going to have some download options here. When you click on the down arrow to the right of download, you'll be able to download the original PDF. That will be the document without signatures or any information that the recipient has entered on that document. You can choose the completed document, which is going to include the information that Cord has requested from me as the recipient. Or you can do just the signature certificate. This is just a cert. As I scroll down, it's going to look like this, indicating that the document has been successfully completed through the RightSignature process. If you want all of that together, the completed document and a signature, just simply click on combine PDF and you'll get all of that together. But now that I have accessed this link, I can now see that this document has been executed properly. So I'm going to kick it back over to Cord.
All right. So yep, as we can see here, we also see it completed on my end. And this will be the employee view. And you'll have the same options for downloads here. So we go back to our home screen here. We see benefit elections that Ricardo did. So there we go. All right, so next we're gonna jump into templates here. So we're gonna create a new template, and we're gonna go ahead and use that same document that we did before. But we're gonna make it as a template this time so we can easily send it to users multiple times without having to place all those fields each time. So again, here we'll just start with this is call it new employee is the role. And for a template, you can add multiple roles as well, and set signer order is the same thing. When you send the template out, you will choose which role you're sending it for. And depending on how you use the template, you may be able to use all the roles, or you may only use one of them at a time. But again, you can also have the sender role here if you need that. So those are all your options there. So then we'll go ahead to place fields again. So we're gonna use an import overlay. We already set up this document with Ricardo earlier. So we'll do benefit elections, and we come in here and we'll see this option here. It matches the name. You can search for other stuff as well, but we already have this one here. You'll also be able to use this on one-off documents like we did originally if you already have a template set up. You can come in here and choose the same thing, that template. So if you needed to make quick tweaks to a template before you send it, you could always use import overlay as a one-off document as well. It will ask you when you're doing import overlay which role to assign to which to match them up. So we have one role on each, so it's only going to give one option here. So go ahead and do import. As we can see, all those fields show up. I want to make some slight changes though. First off, I'm going to delete these annotate fields because we're not always sending this to Ricardo on October 18th. So what we'll do instead is a text field here or a date field here. And what we're going to do is we'll make this a merge field. A merge field will be required to be sent out by the template sender before it's sent out. So it's an annotate field that they are prompted to fill out before they send it. So it makes it a little easier to set up a template that your whole company can use. So we'll walk through how to fill out the merge fields and everything here. I also forgot earlier here, we actually need a different field there, so we'll add that one. So yeah, everything else is going to stay the same. These two are going to be merge fields, so we'll be prompted to fill those out before we send them as part of that template sending process. So we'll go ahead and do next. Right. So if you want to change the title of this, we're just going to leave it as is for now. Again, you can also add a CC, so if you always want somebody else to be notified that these documents have been completed, you can add that CC there. And again, you can add the personalized message, you can change the default expiration, and you can add a tag. So we can call this form and then benefits. So if we ever need to look up benefits, we always have that tag there. So we'll go ahead and do create template. So as we can see now, we have our merge fields, different color. Anytime you have multiple signers or multiple fields, everybody gets assigned colors, and you'll be able to track those. Usually on the right side, there'll be a little circle with their color in it. So again, we have our template here. It's showing checkboxes, signature fields, all that good stuff. What we can do over here now is we can send this for signature. So we'll send it out to people similar to the other thing. You also have the option to embed it in your website, which will generate some web code, or just generate a share link if you want to send it out in just a chat message. For embedded website and share links, those are the ones you only get to choose one role for it because it doesn't have any way to track multiples at that point. So it's good for something you maybe let the person and the prospective employee or something initiate through your website themselves rather than you sending them the links or sending them the emails. You also, with a template, you can manage all those links and embeds. If you come in here, there's none right now, but it'll let you see if they've been accessed, expire them, that kind of stuff. You can also do responses, which will bring you back to your thing, your documents main page here, and it'll have the benefits election tag already searched for you, so it'll bring it up there. If you ever need to make an edit to the template, you also have the edit option here. But we're going to go ahead, we're just going to walk through the send for signature again here. So again, we'll go with demo. And then the next step here is it's going to bring up the merge field. So similar to how they sign it, you now put in the merge field. So all we have to do is come in here, fill these out, and then we would go to review, and then it's going to send it off the same way. Ricardo would get the document, fill out his information, and it'll come back to us the same way. We're not going to go ahead and send it because we've already done that for the other one, but that's how a merge field works. You get to add them to the document before you send them out. It's like an annotate that is more variable, and it works well for templates. All right. I think the last thing we were going over was the email verification.
Yeah.
All right. So to verify your email, all you need to do is come into accounts and go to settings, and then scroll down here to verified emails. You'll click this add verified email. It'll prompt you for an email address, and then you'll get an email to click through the link confirmation link there, and then it'll show up here as a verified email. If your email is verified this way in RightSignature, anytime you get sent a document from your same account, you will then go in and you can sign the document through RightSignature without having to go through the emails like Ricardo did. You'll just come in here, find the document in your dashboard, click on it, and then you'll have a sign option over here on the right, and it'll automatically take you into the signing process. You won't have to go through all those emails to complete your signing. One other thing that helps with is using a saved signature. If you're verified on your account and you're signing a document or annotating a document, you'll have the option to use a saved signature rather than going through the process, the whole signing process. You can just click it in there and see the saved signature. So if we come back to account, should be able to see some of mine down here at the bottom. So yes, I have a default side save signature here. So anytime I sign something in my account, whether I send it or I'm just annotating it or someone sent it to me, I don't have to go through that whole drawn signature or type signature. I can just choose a saved signature. It helps with consistency as well. All right. I think we're going to open it up for questions now.
Yeah. Thanks, Cord and Ricardo. And I think that last bit with the verified signers and saved signatures is great if you at your company are in charge of HR and you have to sign a lot of offer letters on a regular basis, or if you're an accountant and you're constantly signing your clients' completed tax documents. You'd want to be a verified user on your share file, on your RightSignature account, and then have the saved signatures in there to make it simple for yourself. One of the questions we had a bit of in the Q&A, Cord and Ricardo, was can you show the templates section from here in the dashboard and how you can either edit or delete a template? Let's say an employee completed the creation of a template and then they forgot a field like you showed. How do you go ahead and edit that?
Yeah, so to edit a template, all you have to do is come in here to edit. It'll walk you through the whole, basically the whole process again, checking your roles, your document, and then you just come back here and then you can add another field. So if for whatever reason I wanted to add my signature to it, I can do an annotate here. Oh, grab the wrong one. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so this is how you do a save signature.
Perfect.
There we go. And if you want to delete anything, so let me. Yeah, you just click on, so you can, maybe you want to let them choose multiple health plans, you can come here and do one or more.
So you click on the fields to go back and delete them, yeah, or them, and then to edit, you go back to the dashboard. Now, let's say there was a template from an ex-employee. How do I go and find that template and delete it?
Oh, to find a deleted one. So to manage templates.
Delete it, Cord. I think it's like one of the actions when you click on the details of the template.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How do I clean out an old template?
Yeah, you just come down here to delete, and then it'll ask you to confirm.
Great.
Only admins will be able to see all templates on the account. There's a specific permission for accessing all templates or sharing templates. So not everybody will be able to see all the templates on the account.
Yeah.
But an admin will.
Awesome. And just to further talk about the editing of templates, you just saw when Cord pulled it up, there was a question of, do you have to place all the fields again when you edit a template? Obviously the answer is no. You can add or remove fields or edit fields, but they will all be there when you edit the template. So that's the whole thing.
And if you got a lot of fields on a template and you're worried about messing something up on one that's being active use, create a new template and then do an import overlay from that existing one. And it'll pull all those fields over.
Great idea, like version.
Have a new copy without having to worry about ruining your existing one.
Perfect. And then one more question in the interest of time, and then we'll let you all get back to your busy days, I'm sure. There's one last question. For the passcode PIN, is that going to be the same passcode for multiple signers if you had multiple signers on a single document? Or would it be an individual passcode per signer?
I think it assigns a different one per signer. We can double check though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be unique to the signer.
Yeah.
Because they each have a unique user ID associated with them.
Yeah, I think it is unique. I haven't done it in a while though, so we can double check for sure though. I can also show you how you do. So we can place two signature fields here, and then we can reassign one of them to myself. So you see how the color changes. And then if you look down here, each person gets their own colors. So you can tell which fields are which. So go ahead to the next, and then we'll do passcode. Oh, looks like,
Maybe the same.
yeah, it looks like it's only going to use one.
All right, so from this look, it's gonna have the same pin. So the pin's based on the document. So no matter how many sides on that document, they'll receive the same.
Yeah, it's going to use the same one. It can change between documents, but every pin is going to be the same for the document.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining today. Cord and Ricardo, thank you for walking us through this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hey, thanks, everybody.